Welcome to your study. We're talking about priorities. The text that we've looked at this week is from Ephesians chapter 5, verse 16. In the Phillips translation, it says, "Live life then with a due sense of responsibility, not as those who do not know and understand the meaning and purpose of life, but as those who do. Make the best use of your time, despite all the difficulties these days." Great passage. When we think about being committed to the cause and learning this new language of love, this mastering the message of Christ, when we think about that, two things are critical to be committed to the cause. We've got to know how the cause, what it does for us, and we have to know what we do for it. A great revolution, all successful revolutions do that. They give you something to do, and they do something for you. When we understand our part of the revolution and what we gain from it and what we give to it, all of a sudden something begins to change. Benjamin Franklin said something interesting. He said, there are three things extremely hard: steal, a diamond, and to know oneself. To know oneself is hard. And we really cannot know ourselves well and what God wants us to do if we're not willing to take a look at our priorities. Your priorities are the things you feed the most. This week, as we talked about priorities, we've kind of looked at it from a little different perspective. Most of us, when we think about priorities, we think sequential. We think first, second, third. I'm going to do this first because it's my top priority. And so that's good. I mean, even in our faith, that's good. To say, I'm going to give Jesus the first part of my day. I'm going to have my devotions early in the morning. That's great. I suggest that. But we're thinking about it in terms of a revolution a little differently. Sequential priorities can easily leave one thing behind when it goes to the next. And so instead of thinking sequentially, we want to think about integral priorities or integral priorities. That means that it's literally integrated into everything. An integral priority is one that changes the foundation of everything we do. It impacts all that we do, not just some of what we do. A sequential priority says, I'm going to give God the first 15 minutes of my day. An integral priority says, God owns all of my day. It's not the 15 minutes I focus my thoughts on Jesus in the morning. It's how Jesus changes the focus of my thoughts all day long. It's not just what I do, where I walk into church on the weekend. It's that I walk into life every day. And when we take that revolution every day into our conversations and the way we treat people, when it literally begins to affect how we treat others and how we think and how we work, all those things then become literally dependent on our relationship with Christ. That's revolutionary. That's when God begins to change everything, because he changes my priority. He becomes my priority. I hope you have a great study this week. Let Jesus revolutionize your priorities.